A slave to the power of death. So, let's go. What is the fucking shit, man? It's not working. It's time to farm some red Pokemon, I think. That's all that is left. I have 394, but these are other things. Those are not the captured. I've captured most perhaps, but yeah. So there is an Ariadnus now, and it needs to lay an egg. And then the others need to lay eggs. So this will be the content of this entire gameplay. I'll be going up and down. Even the music of the game, which is nice, it's not going to be present because I'm going to be doing that at high speed. So that would be like awful to watch, but that's Pokemon core gameplay. You gotta catch them all. If you want to catch them all, you have to do this. What the actual fuck? If I breed Pokemon, that have the baby form, the stupid baby form, some of them do not produce the baby form. They only produce the baby form if they are holding an specific incense. Like, what the actual fuck, man? I played the entire game without using my Iron Man, my Protein, my Carbos, my Rare Candy, and I have to waste a shitty ton of this cunt. This catching contest, man, this is so stupid, it is so dumb. I mean, where are my Pokemon? I- I'm not seeing the other Pokemon that should be there. Like, I was trying to get the starters to start it all up, but I could not find them. I could not see the Blastoise and shit. So let me open the Emerald save here. These are the Pokemon I'm holding. I need to send these two. It have been my last because they are the rolling ones. Where am I? It is a town. I do not need these, so it's fine. Now, I have taken these Pokemon. Why are they here? I have these two also, I think. Where's Blastoise? That's my question. Where are the other Gen 1 Pokemon? It's not here? Like, what the fuck? So my Pokédex is complete. I obviously have Blastoise. Where is it? It's not here. Did I not just take this Pokemon? How are they still here? I think I have gotten the Charizard. Oh, Blastoise over here. Okay, I'm fucking blind. Let me look properly. Let me look again. And why is this saving here like automatic? And the saving on the Nintendo DS takes so long. Anyway, there is like no order to life. So I'm going to take those that I think I do not have. That's the only thing I can go by. So here, let's migrate. Let's start with box 1. Which of these I do not have? I have bread to get this one, I have, and I have this. Is this Walrus the evolution of my sea level? I have not evolved it. Yeah, I can just evolve it. I have this one. I do not have a Vibrava. I do not know if I have this guy. There is like a Loudred to be taken in this game, but it says I do not have it. So I should level this guy up. There is no Makuhita in this game. I have this guy. I have this Weezing. And there is no... I cannot even send this guy because bullshit. I have this. I have one of these. I do not remember which one exactly, and I have an Oddish. So the dog is. I have this, and I have a Camerupt. I do not have a Spinda. I think I can get one in a Swarm. I have seen a Baltoy. Is there a Baltoy to be taken? I have seen people using a Baltoy. Like the evolution of the Baltoy to fight me. I do not think there is like one to be taken, to be captured. And I can send items. I'm going to get a Moonstone and I'm going to get a Leafy Stone. I'm going to send them over. Oh yeah. Strategy. Yeah, apparently it does not change my save file. It's not deleting the Pokemon. I should get these and I have to get transferable shit on the other one also. This Catting Show is so retarded, man. Why can't you just give my stupid Pokemon? You have to give me 6 Master Ball and walk on this place that makes no sense, waiting to be aggressed by my own Pokemon. Run, live to die. Live to all die, won't you run? These Pokemon, where are they being that positive? Oh, that's the proper place, thank you. I'm actually going to leave the Regis. Live to fly, live to or die, want to run. I need the Regis for that event and shit. I'm going to get the event he wants me. This transference thing is too low. And also it also happened here, box 8. Why are you going somewhere else? This is a baby Pokemon, but fuck me. So let's get the event items instead. Walkthrough wows, max experience, infinite cash, shiny Pokemon, Master Ball, Ghost Mode, max IV, max happiness, Poker Rush, catch hate, catch the enemy trainer's Pokemon, Pokédex all seen and capture, unlock gym badges, unlock all items, unlock all Pokeballs, unlock all reading items. Unlock all berries, all battle items, all TMs, all mail, teach any Pokemon any TM, duplicating Pokemon on PC, encounter shiny, wide Pokemon modifier, infinite PP, infinite HP, character modifier, complete Pokédex, skip trainer battles, no out Pokemon battles when running, fast egg hatch, run from battles, fix, cannot save after using items sheet. All key items. Okay, that's what I want. Let's see the Azure Flute. Is that a key item? I think it is. It's a key item. Event Regi Gigas. It's not any Regi Gigas, it's the Event Regi Gigas. Darkrai, you need a member card. Shaymin, you need Oak's letter. I have an actual official Shaymin on my my copy of Pokemon Y. I have a 3DS, I have the game, and I was part of the event that gave a Shaymin to everyone. There are only 3 Pokemon, 3 event items. But there was 4 event items. Oaks Letter, new member card, and the Azure Flute. There is a secret key. The player will automatically obtain the secret key upon catching the Rotom. Opens the room that he can change his form. Ooh. So I'm going to put all key items and that is it. That's the only shit I need. And that's going to not last long at all. Because, like, there are only 3 Pokemon to capture. That should be a problem. Did I have these things? The rods are in order. They changed it. Oaks Letter. Member card. I got the fucking parcel. And I got the secret key for the room. What order is this shit in? Oh, the Azure Flute. So let's go get them. And to get them, I need the OG, the Pokemon Capture, the monster himself. And I also need Rotom because I want to see the location. The forms, I mean, you can take. That's going to be a fast stop. Team Plasma HQ. The headquarters. And the secret Rotom Room. Power of Death. I hate this place so much. I got lost here. If you watch the game, you see. Because you have to guess that it's actually impossible to continue. Then you have to leave that building and go to another building to continue the fucking piece of shit. Crazy. Not here though. I remember this fault, man. This fucking shitty place. No entrance to the secret room. Is this the headquarters or is this just some path? That thing. Yeah, that is nothing. This is all. It's in Eterna City. So I look at it up, and on the wiki say it's on the ground level. I look at that, it's nothing here. So I try to interact with everything. Then I read further, and it says left of the TV. There is like nothing else it could be. So I had to look up a video online. And the guy literally just comes here and talks to this piece of wall, and it opens. But nothing is happening. The thing is here for sure. But it's not working, man. So, having the item does not really matter, apparently. I need to trigger the event. The code is not seem to give me the item. It has to trigger the actual event so that the item can now work. Well, I do have the key, but the event is another story. magically. Okay, that was weak. Why was it not working before? What do you mean, man? I already had this shit on my Pokédex. How did you not know about it? Did not learn a new power, man. I was thinking about learning a skill of every element. Is the skill changing itself? It is, it's a blizzard now, what the fuck? Air Slash is compared with Hydro Pump and Blizzard. Okay. Is this Giga Drain or just some random Razor Leaf? Leaf is Stone. And this was probably that 120 Fire Blasted thing. Overheat. Cool. Where is the lamp? Okay, this was it for the event. What about the other ones, man? Do I need to trigger an event? When this item is received as an event and delivered by the delivery man. So I need to trigger the proper events. So it's meaningless to get all the key items as I have just gotten. So the world just transformed. A bridge appeared mid-ocean and flower bloomed everywhere. That's so disruptive to all ecosystem. Oh, it used a berry and it's fighting me. Well, that was easy. And the people just went away. Mikey Jackson, to whom I give my thanks. So, the thing is, in order to get these event items, it's not just about having the item and going to the location. It does not actually interact with the item by itself. You have to trigger the event. Okay, and the event happens when you receive a Wi-Fi code originally. And nowadays you need an action replay. I think it's like a card that you can put codes on it. And so if you use an action replay code and activate while entering, before entering, I do not know, a Poké Market, you get that delivery man. But not on the Pokemon League apparently. Let's see another Poké Market around the world. Let's run down there. I'm not going to press it, I pressed it back there. And he's here. Have I pressed the code? He's giving me the letter again. I think I have to disable and enable my code. Now, if I press and enter, I'm going to receive the item. I need to go sleep on some bed or some shit for Darkrai, but let's get the Azure. What? So here I found the Azure Flute event code. I saved it. I enabled it. I have reset my sheets and I have pressed it before going in. So this is it. Now I have both events going on. So let's go get that Darkrai. Apparently he's on kinda large city, like he's the... Cresselia is a dream Pokemon. and woke up the boy, and he's a nightmare Pokemon. I went to sleep and woke up on some barren island. Look how different this is from the Cresselia Island. And then it's not so barren anymore. There's a bunch of trees also. There was a half moon over there. There is a full moon here. This thing can put me to sleep while doing damage. The most broken power on competitive Pokemon yet. But I move fast, boy. It's a ghost type. So what the fuck do I do now? It's not a ghost type. Darkrai is not a ghost type. It's a dark type. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a pure dark type. What actual fuck? Woke up and I'm sleeping now. And now it can evade me. And I'm losing my life points while sleeping. What the fuck? fuck be that? It's a evasion. I have to kill this and then kill Cynthia to bring this back. Holy shit. Oh, I started to threaten it with my Aya of having to redo the league. But okay, it is here now. So, should I go get Arceus right now? Or should I complete the decks before that? I feel like it would be really cool to leave it for last, mate. Just like I left Ho-Oh for last on the Johto games. But alas. That trouble, man. Just that trouble. I guess I'll leave it for last. Fuck this shit. But let's just go and see it. So we know the code actually worked. And Arceus, you cannot capture it. Like, that is the code to trigger the event, clearly, to have the item. The item is in the game, everything is ready. But there was never an event where they actually gave it. So this is a Pokemon that you could never have gotten. Illegally. I think they added on Platinum, on the remakes. I do not think so. But I think they gave it on some event like a while ago, and it was like the only time they gave it after so many years or some shit like that. Straight to the power of that. I'm just going there to see its face. Should I go there and kill it? If I kill it, it should respawn if I do the Elite Four. A slave to the power of the... Slave to the power of the... So clearly it's on the spear pillar. The servant of Arceus tried to stop me. but I move on. My flute makes a sound and I blow into it. There is no blowing music. There is, straight from Zelda. A glowing stairway, holy shit. What the fuck? Dogogyun. Why is it called Arceus and not Dodogyu? The god attacked me. I'm not going to capture it. As I said, I'm going to capture it at the end. Like the last Pokemon on this Pokédex. When I have the entirety of the Pokédex field, then I'm going to capture it. So, goodbye, host boy. It's faster than me. Do I have all plates? I know I have several. Thank you, boy. I was wondering if I could hit it, kill it, but I mean, it's a level 80 monster. And while we are looking at Arceus, I should mention that like legendary Pokemon are a real letdown. You know, Pokemon started out like a random game. They did not know it was going to be like this crazy franchise, the highest grossing franchise in the world. And there would be this insane competitive scene, you know? But legendary Pokemon are utter shit. Like this guy changes like typing based on the item it's holding. It's not something dynamic. You enter with a type and that is it. Like it's really shitty. Legendary Pokemon are shit. Pokemon in general are shit. Like I was thinking about the Oddish and the Bellsprout line, for example. And the the difference between these two lines is really negligible. It's like it's very small details. But Pokemon should like be much more unique. The Bellsprout line should have an ability like Carnivore. Like it's a plant. It would be like Cannibal. Yes, a Cannibal ability, and that ability would allow it every hit of it to be super effective against its own type. So plant and poison. If it hits normal on plant or poison, it's now super effective. If it uses a grass attack on a grass Pokemon, instead of being resisted, it's now neutral. And if it uses a poison attack against a grass Pokemon, then it is now quadruple effectively, you know? It should have this ability, so it would give this very offensive role to the Bellsprout, but only against like its own kind. It would be the plant killer. So there will be this spin. It's like a carnivore plant, but instead of eating like animals, it's actually killing other plants. And that would give a direct contrast with the Odyssey line. And you should give like some defensive ability to the Odyssey line to resist a bunch of shit. And so instead of just being like two silly Pokemon that on a game you can get one and another game you can get other, they would be like this really unique Pokemon. And the exclusivity of one to one game or to the other would like be something really cool, something really different, you know? That's how exclusive Pokemon should be. And how much more exclusive should the legendary Pokemon be? Like on Mewtwo, let's take this example. It's like every legendary Pokemon is just like a normal Pokemon. It's learned basically the same moves. The unique moves they can learn are usually a normal move with a different name, perhaps a little more powerful with some little effect, but it's basically a normal move. It's an entirely normal Pokemon, a generic Pokemon with perhaps an ability and a named move after itself. And that is it, like it's really a letdown. As I just gave the example with the Bellsprout line, like Mewtwo, it's a powerful psychic Pokemon, that's it. Ultra shit. Mewtwo, I think it should have like a broken special attack stats. But its other stats like to be shit. I have like 20 HP, 20 speed or something to be really bad, you know? But it be a gimmick Pokemon. Every legendary Pokemon should be a gimmick Pokemon. That's what I mean. It should not have one like unique move, signature move. It should have all of them to be signature move. And Mewtwo would be like this, it's a clone Pokemon, you know? So it would like have all these awful stats, but really broken on the special attack. And it would not like be a glass cannon. It would have a move that equals some other of its stats with its special attack. Perhaps a random move, one random stat. So if it hits on light, it's not tank. If it hits on defense, it also can tank like hell. And so you get this really fucking crazy Pokemon that if it sets up right, it would be really troublesome to deal with. And it would have moves to play around that, you know? It should have a protect move. That setup move should be a protect because like it's so fucking slow with its priority and shit to work. And so it protects and it buffs one random stat to be the same as its special attack. And you should have like some version of Nasty Plot to buff its special stats even more. And that would automatically buff the other stats it has gotten, you know? If it's a Pokemon that's like the strongest Pokemon, like really, it should be able to KO anything easily, but you need to set up. It's a very dangerous Pokemon to play with. It's a very vulnerable Pokemon. You have to play your cards right to set it up. You know what I mean? That's how Mewtwo should be. Like this right risk, right reward thing. And it would be like really cool, like all this Pokemon is so awesome, so powerful. But it's really hard to get it going. And there should be out of Pokemon with counterplay to it, you know? That would be like so infinitely better. Mew can transform on other Pokemon, you know? And I think it should like keep that ability. And it should like have a signature move that allows it to change to any type at will. And it should have a signature move that does damage, but it's always super effective damage. The attack changes to a random type that will be super effective against your opponent. But if you are transformed on a type that is super effective against it, it will all be that type you are transformed so that super effective, so that it always gets super effective stab. It's already transformed, you know? Shit like that, that's how Mew then should be. And it's really frustrating that like legendary Pokemon, like this god Pokemon, it's like a piece of shit, man. It should have some kind of power, just like the one I mentioned from Mew. And I have actually, a few days ago, written about that. Like, I made some sketches of how Pokemon, legendary Pokemon should be. So, let me actually check that out. And Mewtwo. So Mewtwo would have several skills like that, you know? That turn equals your defenses with your for attack and shit, or the random one. You have to choose which one you want. Some kind of psychic U-turn to keep it alive, perhaps, and boost its speed. Oh, and what I wrote about Nasty Plot is not that it should have, but it should have a skill that is like invading mind, like some psychic Pokemon, you know, should be able to invade the mind of the enemy. And that skill, it has a low damage, so it's difficult to kill it. Perhaps it's physical. But if it kills the target, it can like copy some power of the target or some ability. And so if it copies Calming Mind or Nasty Plot, then it becomes the monstrosity I was mentioning. And that also allows for the gameplay where you have a Pokemon of your own with Nasty Plot, and you intentionally lower its health and kill it in order to set up your Mewtwo, you know? It allows like for so much strategy and cool shit. So Mew, the transformation I mean is like the Ditto transformation, but like it has all the shitty life points that Ditto has, and it got 3 of the 40 skills of the opponent because it keeps the transform. And transforming does not expand your turn, you know? It's like this ability, but you choose to use it or not. So you can transform to the enemy Pokemon and actually use his moves, and you can use transform on yourself to go back, and so on. Or keep as the enemy Pokemon up to kill it and use it forward. You know? This transform skill that you can use on the enemy Pokemon to become the enemy Pokemon without having the shitty life points. Or you can use on yourself to go back to being Mew. And as Mew, you have your own moves, you know? Like the one I mentioned that's always super effective and changing type to get stabbed and shit like that. So Mew would be really flexible, really be able to learn any move. And Mewtwo would be like this crazy gameplay that's super vulnerable, and you have to set it up. And some Pokemon would have like just mist and that fog to deal with this kind of shit in the buff thing. The format, the game would wrap around this Pokemon, like be really change the whole way you play the Legendary one. It would no longer be just a generic Pokemon with broken stats. It would like also stop the power creep, because instead of just giving more damage, and that is it, that's the only thing that they give nowadays, you would actually have to make mechanics, expand the mechanics of the game, and make legendary Pokemon really legendary. And I thought about a whole wall with some Rainbow Dance ability, where it gets a secondary type depending on the weather, you know? And if it gets like the same type, it would have a double type. So 2 fire types would actually become a flame type. It has twice the stab, but it's also twice the weakness and the defenses. Not just a common Pokemon with more stats. And I thought about Lugia, of course. Lugia is the Lord of the Seas, but it's not a water type. It should be like, they should make some Pokemon to have 3 types, you know? There should be like offensive types and defensive typing. Just like here on this very 4th generation, you know? They added the physical and the special split. And they should do that with typing. They should have some Pokemon that have a defensive type and an offensive type. What they defend against is different from the actually get stab damage. And perhaps only a few Pokemon, some special cases, like Lugia, that does not match the type that it should be. And this Lord of the Sea power, like it could heal some percentage of its life every turn on rain. But if like you have a stats condition, it actually heals adding stats instead of healing you. And if you have full life points, then it perhaps buff your other defenses stats, you know? Or perhaps that can be linked to the weather. That is the rain, like weather. That is the primordial rain. There should also be another kind of rain that does damage, but I'm going to that soon. Now, Lugia is supposed to be this tank Pokemon, you know? And it should have like abilities that deal with defense, that protect your team. Not just like safeguard, but that buff the defense of your team and shit like that. And use the Pokemon defensively. There should like be, just like I said about the split, there should be many more moves that are elemental, but about defense, not attack. And has the mother of the birds, it should have an attack that allows it to burn, paralyze, and freeze. Not like try attack, but it has a 10% on each. And there will be an item now called Crown of Catastrophe. And it emits an aura when the Pokemon is with it. And every Pokemon in battle with it enter the catastrophe mode. So instead of sleep, you have a catastrophe there. And catastrophe has like 6 slots, it has several slots. And it makes Pokemon vulnerable to like be poisoned, burned, frozen at the same time. And so I can see a format where Lugia would like be this defensive Pokemon and it use Call of Catastrophe. And although it affects itself, it would like be using to put the enemy Pokemon into several states at once. And shit like that, you know? I also thought about some Marine Realm ability that would trap Pokemon except aquatic one and would like give drowning damage every turn and shit. And so the whole wall again, you have the elements there and it will be based on the weather. And so it would be well used with the dogs. The dogs would set weather for it and transform it, allow it to use other moves. And just like there is like the sandy storm, there should be a dusty weather. The dusty weather would like diminish the accuracy and buff the ground type Pokemon, but not do damage. And Sunstorm is like the violent version, the intense version that does damage. And every weather should have a version like that. So that is like drizzle, that's just like rain. It would be like normal rain. But then there is like heavy rain or a storm. That is a rain weather that buffs even more the water Pokemon and also does damage to non-water Pokemon, you know? And so as the whole O transforms, he triggers from the normal weather to the violent weather. And if it uses Call of Catastrophe, like the heavy sun weather can burn Pokemon every turn. And the heavy rain weather can give like the drowning thing that I just mentioned. And other weather like this a lightning storm could give paralysis. And so there will be all this new weather, the normal weather and the violent weather. And with the Call of Catastrophe, the whole world would also shit you up, like changing the weathers and controlling that. Because whole world is like the elementary bird, you know? You should play on that. Instead of just being like this stupid shit, it should like be a unique Pokemon with unique gimmicks. That is what I mean for the legendary Pokemon. And Hoenn now, obviously, they are the weather legendaries. But it's kind of hard to work them further. But what I thought about it is like when you bring them in, like they bring the weather, but the normal weather. And then next turn they are in, they bring the violent weather. And in 3 turns in, they bring like the start weather that's only available to them, like the Primordial Sea or Desolate Land. And when bringing these weathers, they transform to the primordial form. And so, the weather war would be about trying to take the other Pokemon out before it can transform. you would like use Rain Dance in order to abate the sun one level back down. If you bring like the whale, how's it called again? Kyogre on a second level sun of grow down, it would go back to level 1, and every time they would compete, and would there be this standstill? Or perhaps the weather now can be like segmented. Half of the field is raining, half of the field has the sun, and they would transform and do this shit, you know? There would like be a real weather war, and it would bring support Pokemon using weather moves, you know, to change the opponent weather, and avoid that they bring out the primal form, or if on the primal form, try to bring it back down to the normal form, and wrap the format about it, you know? Not just have like a shitty Pokemon with a shitty item that brings the primal form, and then having change into the other one later in order to change the other weather completely. That's like so fucking stupid, man. And it could like be something so cool to have this weather war. And here, of course, we have Palkia and Dialga. I'm not even going to go about this because this is really complex. But they should be able to distort space and time, basically. Palkia will control space, so it could change its place with another Pokemon. Let's say the Pokemon attacks me. It's a one-on-one. Palkia uses like a spacing rift and changes place. So the Pokemon attacks, I change its place, and the Pokemon happens to attack itself as they change locations, you know? And with the weather being different, being possible to be different in different locations, if there is a weather war, that will like make things really complex. On the VGC, there are 4 players. That would like be a really disruptive Pokemon. It could distort space-time in ways like that and really fuck things up, you know? And the Aura would make things go slower. Like it attacked now, like but like some future sight would only happen later. So it would be able to delay the weather with the Alga and do shit like that. Change the space of the weather with Palkia to avoid the transformation. And like really disrupted the game. This would be like the ultimate disruptors. I have a wall of tests in front of me about these mechanics. But let's not get any farther into this. You catch my drift. Legendary Pokemon should be like be the ultimate gimmick Pokemon. They should not only be strong, but they should have a completely different play style than any other Pokemon. And be unique on that way. Like you would still have ways to counterplay it, but it would be much more complex, you know? And that, like, I think that would be really awesome, both for VGC and for the actual game. Like, it's so shitty to fight a legendary Pokemon, but if they were like that, you have to study every move, to study the gameplay, to understand it. Like, it would be a really cool part of the game if they had made the legendary Pokemon actually legendary. But in the end, they are just a piece of shit with immense stats, and that is it. Really poor move of Game Freak. And Pokemon should be remade and reworked like that. And that is my rant while I'm facing Arceus. It disappeared. I'm going to fight it again later. Okay, it's like here non-stop. So that's my rant and how shit should be. I cannot. It counts as a cave. I cannot fly from here. So in face of the Pokemon God, which is a ginormous disappointment, I have told you how I think Pokemon could be fixed and made into like a really competitive game where every Pokemon might be viable Like having Pokemon be actually unique. Not just like change a stats point here and there and have like a unique move to it or a different land set simply. No. Each Pokemon should be unique. Like the Sprout line example. They should have a hole to play, you know, on the environment, on the thematic. And then legendary Pokemon should be the most unique of all. Entirely gimmick Pokemon. But gimmick that can be like played several ways. Like those I mentioned. And that's my ideal Pokemon world. After having finished like 6 games, I have never played beyond the good ones. Like the 7th gen onwards, like only downhill apparently. Downhill. I have only played up to the 6th generation, but I have played the games more than once. I have used Locket then. And I have never played VGC. I have watched dozens and dozens of hours of it. And as someone who often thinks about game design myself, and who really does not like the how similar each Pokemon is and how similar the supposed legendary, how let down the legendaries are. These are my views of how to perfect the Pokemon games. Yeah, you could work a little bit also on the RPG and the world, you know, the side quests and things. But the monster taming part, the difference between Pokemon, they could really fix that. I mean, the special and physical split, the abilities really were great. The EVs is also something like nice. I think Pokemon should not have levels, you know? You should be able to face their gyms in any order. And it should not like be like because of the level. They should like be balanced some other way. Balancing the stats and shit. And the EVs is very interesting. Because the Pokemon has some basic stats, but you can change it using nature and the effort points. You know? And the way you control it on VGC is very precise and strategic. And I think it's very nice. Because on some RPG, you level up, you are able to allocate your points wherever you want. And you can min-max like shit. But having a basic stat and then being able to allocate only parts of the point, I think it's very ingenious of Pokemon. And more RPG should have it. But then on other aspects, like how samey every Pokemon is, they could fix that. They should fix that. I do not think they ever will. But that's like my dream Pokemon world that I have just shared with you. Now I got the event Pokemon. There are not many at all. There is only space for mana fee here, man. There are many more legendary and mythical shit here. It's 12 p.m. or 0 a.m. It's the next day. Should I go to sleep? These are the event Pokemon, the event parts. What the fuck do I do now? There is nothing else to do But that is stupid trade shit. So I guess I should get to it. Fuck me. I have a bunch of the first generation. Then there is a giant blank hole on the second one over there. And then there are some mid holes on the third. And I should have all of the 40. Here, the 40 has begun. This is from the 4th generation. How do I not... I do not have it. Oh, these are the fossils. I have to get them. I have the Bunnyary, and I traded it away. I have not leveled it up. Where can I find a Miss Mago and a Honcho and a Glameow? Skuntank is from this generation. It's not like an old gen guy. Well, let me look this up, but then I'm going to trade. Trading is like the way now on this game. Miss Magus, I think it's the evolution of an older Pokemon. Like the Mr. Rebus, yes, of course. That's why I do not have one. Honky Cho is also an evolution. Cyrus used one of these cunts against me. Yes, it's the evolution of the Macro. All of them use Dusty Stone, man. Fuck me dead. The Glameow is from this generation though. They are only found on Pearl. If I want on Platinum, I have to migrate. So... there are unique Pokemon like that also. I have a complete save file on Pearl. I guess I'll have to go there, find the Pokemon there, and then send it here. I can just spawn it. It will depend on my mood at the time. If I'm not feeling like wasting time, I'm just going to use a sheet and spawn it. Otherwise, I'm going to open the other game, capture it, and trade with myself. I also need a Dusty Stone, man. Dusky Stone to level up this shit. So, let's get up to getting some stones. I'm not feeling like trading. That trading shit is... that migrating shit is awful. And I think I forgot to say, I keep remembering it, but I'm finishing what I'm saying before I say it, and I never say it. But I'm going to leave the action codes there on the video description for these events, you know? I cannot even get that Dusk Stones down there, man. Holy shit. This next part is just changing Pokemon and cheating stones, man. I'm going to quit for today. I've got to the event once. Next time I focus on that changing, I'm going to see that the stones I have on Emerald. If I have one of each at least, I can like trade my way through. But this was it for today. The events are complete. Except our kills, the event is triggered. When it's the last one, I go there and take it. See ya next time.